September Solicits came out, and there's some interesting stuff in here. It's a meaty month, and we'll try not to complain too much. Why are you laughing at that? Are you laughing at the word me? Is the word me just sexualized for you now?
I think it is, but I just love when Matt started chuckling. It just got me.
You're talking about a meaty month in the glory hole. That's all.
I mean, I'll put this part of the solicit news out of here since it seems to be relevant to the conversation. Dick is coming. Dick is back. He's back in September.
We will get to the details as we go through.
Yes, that was
like Gotham have to be filthy.
Highlight of my week was tweeting out "Dick is coming," knowing full well what I was doing. With the image of Dick in the Nightwing suit again. Okay, so my solicits page. Where are we? Here we go. So, obviously the big thing this month, which we did not really kind of expect, although I'm not surprised now that I've realised, because I'll be honest, I wasn't keeping track of the numbers, maybe because we weren't reading Detective, it wasn't in the forefront of my mind, but we have Detective Comics 1027, which they are treating as a big anniversary special. In fact, even bigger. This is bigger than the other ones. This is 144 pages, this behemoth. And it is, you know, because obviously if you're unaware of this off the top of your head, Batman didn't actually appear in Detective Comics 1. Technically celebrating 1,000 issues of Detective, while it was accurately 1,000 issues, Batman himself didn't actually make his first appearance until issue 27. So that's kind of what they're celebrating here. They're celebrating 1,000 issues of Batman in Detective Comics.
It's the same way that when we were in the New 52, they did Detective Comics 27.
Yes.
It's a big deal.
That one's
makes sense. This is a reach.
I think that one's more of a reach than this one is. This one makes more sense to me than the New 52 one.
Yeah, at least this is actually 1,000 issues since Batman, whereas that was just, hey, we made 27 issues. Let's go crazy.
Because
but
you could renumber after every
the number.
You could renumber. You could renumber after every 27 issues. So every 27 issues, you could do a special. Like, you know.
I don't know how long it's been. What, 2 years since Detective 1000? 18 months. Yeah. So
that's double shipping, isn't it? So give or take.
So.
It's only been a year, just over a year. Because Action was 2018, Detective was 2019, was it not?
There you go. Well, I'm trying to see what Detective Comics was about before.
Yeah, it was March, April last year.
Yeah, fair enough.
What they seem to be doing with this, though, is they're kind of celebrating the Bat family. They're all kind of like Batman and one of the family members for the variant covers rather than decades, because they've done Batman decades already. For obvious reasons, because Detective 1000. So some interesting stuff in there from that sense. Oh, they're all Bat family. Like Superman's in one of them, to be fair.
And then villains.
Yeah. Batman Nightwing cover, Batman and Batgirl, Batman and Batwoman, Batman and Robin... Batman. I love how Batman and Robin's like the fourth one. You'd think that'd be first. The first one you'd think of is Batman and Robin, but yeah, whatever. So hell of a list of creators on this though. It's the sort of thing where you're like, oh, I did one of these specials, but then you look at this list of writers, you're like, Bendis, Kelly Sue, Matt Fraction, Tom King, Grant Morrison, Greg Rucka, Scott Snyder, Mariko Tamaki, Peter J. Tomasi, James Tynion IV, Marv Wolfman, and others. I mean, I feel sorry for others trying to live up to that list.
A lot of artists as well. I know Chip Zdarsky is doing the story with Fraction.
Yeah, there's a lot of good artists, and then Riley Rosmo's on that list as well. And
John Romita Jr. as well, which is probably the Bendis story.
Because every single time I'm reading one of these specials, and I'll get to this later with the Joker one, but I get to that story that's the Riley Rosmo art, and I just die a little inside, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Or you just skip it.
I mean, I could have done, but you know what? I was like, no.
I'm going to be forward right now, as I only read up to the Tom Taylor story, and then I was like, I'm done. I can't take it anymore. So.
And okay, fair enough. But
and Riley Rosmo had a lot to do with that. That just killed my momentum.
I mean, I could somewhat understand that, but we'll talk about that later. So yeah, we got a big list of creators here. I mean, you know, we've had a bunch of these. The most interesting is they're doing a hardcover of this, you know, simultaneously, which is an interesting.
And it's got like 30 more pages, 20.
I assume more pinups, extras, maybe one extra story or something like that. I don't know.
If I'm gonna get this physically, I might as well just get the deluxe, right? Like,
sure,
for $10 more. Because I have both the Detective and the Action that I bought physically on my shelf. So, because they're thicker.
I wonder if there's any extra stories in it, because I noticed on the deluxe edition, in the artists, it mentions Dan Jurgens and Dan Mora. And I don't see...
No, Dan Moore's on there.
Oh, Dan Moore's in there. I don't see Dan Jurgens in there.
Yes, well, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking like one extra 10-page story, some extra pin-ups and some extras at the back. Probably accounts for that extra 30 pages. That'd be my guess, but...
It is twice the price, though. I mean, naturally, you pay more because it's the hardcover.
Hardcover and deluxe size, so it's bigger pages as well. So
it's bigger, yeah. More, and there's more. It's not the same exact thing.
So I mean,
worth noting that's not on sale at the same time.
No.
Oh yeah, quite right. That comes in November. Yeah.
November. Yeah.
So right. I was about to actually say, hey, that's a good idea. Put it out at the same time so people can just go straight to it rather than having to buy the original version and upgrade. Right. But
you really think they're going to miss out that chance to double dip on some people?
I know, foolish.
So, in the Detective 1000, did we get a Rucka Cain story? Because that was his run.
I don't think so.
In tech.
I don't remember that.
I don't remember there being one.
I don't either. So I'm wondering if that's what's going to be his story here. Because
yeah, Batman and Batwoman will be
makes sense.
His story.
The deluxe edition actually tells us some of the teams a bit better. Bendis is with Marquez, so I take back what I said about Romita Jr.
Is it possible to get Romita Jr. and Riley Rosmo in the same story somehow, just to get them out in one punch?
Rucker is with Riso doing Gotham Central.
Yeah,
so
that's
not
okay.
Not Batwoman.
I'm okay with that though.
Yeah. Yep. Morrison and Burnham back together. That makes sense.
Action and Chip doing Batman v Joker. Yeah. Batman Incorporated. Yeah.
Yeah, Chip there dipping his toes in some more DC I'm seeing there. Yeah. That's interesting little sequence of events. So yeah, luckily, I mean, I haven't actually scheduled out what our month looks like for that month. This actually nicely falls in a week with almost no other books. There's like 3 other books that week, so they've actually put it in a nice place for us at least. I don't know if that's. I mean, it's probably true because typically we tend to mirror kind of. Obviously, we're a little bit less than what the full amount is, but we tend to mirror more or less what the overall feeling per week is in terms of amount. So. Yeah, that's good. That's good. At least it comes in a week that's easier to read. So that's Detective Comics 1027. Obviously, we're not currently reading Detective, but this is obviously a special occasion with a lot of good creators. The only name missing from that writer list is Tom Taylor, quite frankly.
Yeah.
So there you go.
More on him later.
Yes, exactly. Batman 3 Jokers issue 2 coming out as expected. Not really much to say here, but it's coming. Good.
Yeah.
Going. Deceased Dead Planet issue 3, similar idea. We knew it was coming. It's on its way. Some interesting.
Is it me or does Cassie look like Captain Marvel here a little bit?
A little bit.
I can see it. Yeah. What's the movie variant for this one? Or is it? Oh, they've got arrows.
I don't know. Oh, they do have arrows. You're right. Oh.
Yeah. I can't.
Oh, it's V for Vendetta. There's another one.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. It's D for Deceased. I mean, it's actually really obvious when you read the thing.
Oh, I didn't read the title. That makes much more sense.
You know what? I kind of like these arrows being right here. Took forever to load, but that's not bad.
I can confirm that's more of a Mac computer issue than the site itself.
Of course. Your computer's old and it could die at any minute.
Oh, but there's a lot of things on the site that run
with you, computer.
Run like crap for me as well. So I'm just making it clear that's specifically just a hardware issue. So yeah, Deceased, obviously look forward to it. Tom Taylor. Then we got something that Snyder actually sort of revealed himself earlier in the week, but we got 3 more special one-shots coming in September. And this is the month that the main book's taken off, so there's no actual issue of the main series, but there's 3 oversized specials.
Just 3 tie-ins that are most likely you have to read to continue the story.
I think one of them is important, and it feels very much in the vein of the one shot we got in the break month in the original.
That's the one that's written by Snyder himself, but they all have good teams, I think. So
I'm going to get all of them, and it's not because of completionism, but because they all sound
interesting
really fun.
Good.
Yeah, and they all feel like good things to cover for the show, obviously. Here's what they are. So the first one is Dark Knight's Death Metal Trinity Crisis issue 1. That's the one that's written by Snyder with art by Manipul, so that's cool. And then we got Dark Knights, Death Metal, Speed Metal issue 1. I'm going to stop saying Dark Knights at the start of these because it's just awkward.
Yeah, just, you know.
So that's by Joshua Williamson, with art by Eddie Barrows and Eber Ferreira.
And that's featuring all the Flashes.
Mm-hmm. So that's an interesting take.
Most of the Flashes.
And then we got Death Metal Multiverse's End issue 1, which is James Tynion IV, with art by Juan Gaydon. I'm going to say I was probably butchering that last name.
Gideon.
But yeah, no, interesting mix. I do kind of like that they're spread out as well. Again, these are, and they're dodging that that week that the detective special's on, so they're evenly spread.
The Multiverse End has quite the unique team that I'm very interested in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we got Owlman, we've got President Superman from Morrison's Action stuff.
Right.
Guy Gardner's on there, Captain Carrot.
Which Earth was that? Do you remember? Was that Earth 9?
9, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Come here, Guy Gardner. Yeah. I just love the fact that they're naming these after metal genres. Like, because speed metal. Like, now I'm going to have to track down some speed metal to have on in the background while I read that.
I'll hook you up, don't worry, Matt.
Yeah, is Multiverse's End the metal that I've not heard of, Matt?
Well, no, because there's another in here that I think it's the Williamson one that he's doing for the tie-in for Justice League, and it's called Doom Metal.
Okay.
So it seems like it's Williamson more than DC.
As you say that, the very next thing here is Justice League 53. So Williamson's doing a 5-issue arc. The art in this issue that specifically is Zermanico. Notably, there's only one issue, seemingly, unless there's another issue Justice League further down in the main bunch.
I think it's 52.
Yeah,
it's the end of the two-parter that we spoke about.
Fair enough. So we've got 53 because they put all the sort of the big issues at the top before it gets alphabetical. So he's in a 5-issue arc tying into Death Metal. So I'm interested to see Williamson write a Justice League book.
And I think it's worth noting as well that this it's not really a Justice League book because it's
there's different characters.
Nightwing and Lex.
Yes, Dick Grayson, Nightwing.
Yeah.
Seemingly.
I mean, a very metal version of it.
Sure.
A very shirtless version of it in a quite great Liam Sharp cover.
Yeah, with Detective Chimp looking like a proper warrior.
Yeah.
He's learned.
I would argue that Dick's almost Mad Max looking with those shoulder fur thingamajigs he's got going.
It reminds me of, I don't think it was metal, but there was a crossover that we had before where he was in Gotham and it was all like he was in a team and he's all in like metal shoulder pads and stuff.
No, that was metal. That was the tie-in, one of the few tie-ins that they did. I forget what book it was in. I think it was the Teen Titans I think it was the Teen Titans and Titans crossover that they had. It was what was going on in Gotham when the mountain showed up.
I remember Cedric drawing it.
Yeah.
I recall that.
This design reminds me a lot of that, like type in style at least.
Yeah, he looks like a barbarian. It's dope.
Yeah. So then we have, this was also news this week before the Solicits, but Tom Taylor revealed what his next book was that he'd been teasing that is unrelated to Deceased, which was kind of a notable thing because he's been doing a lot, obviously. And it is a Black Label book, a 3-issue mini called Hellblazer, Rise and Fall, and issue 1 obviously is out in September. Now, this is, from a personal point of view, this is kind of this weird bittersweet thing because I'm always down for new Taylor books. But somehow he managed to pick one of the few DC characters that I am so not interested in.
on another personal note, for me, this is like a dream project. Like, I get one of my favorite writers on a character that I love. Yes, please. My only disappointment about this is that it's 3 issues only, and it's bi-monthly, which would lead you to believe, it's the double size like Deceased thing that we're getting, but no, it's just regular size.
Yeah, and it's Black Label. So Black Label keeps going. That's good.
Yeah. It mentions the size trim, so I'm assuming it's slightly different, and maybe it's the widescreen one that we've had on a couple of things.
What happened to the Super Prestige label that was going to make that obvious? That was the whole thing. It was because there was going to be Prestige. Sorry, there was a term. They started putting a term in the Solicits just a few months ago, or a few Solicits ago. That was like it distinguished between the new format. Really obviously, but they've stopped using it already.
I don't recall, but the others obviously don't mention the trim, whereas this one does. So I'm assuming this is different. I'd have to check whether or not it lines up with the other one.
Yeah, it is bi-monthly, it's worth mentioning. Although it's actually normal size in terms of page count.
I just said all of this.
I wasn't listening to you.
It was literally like my entire point that I just said.
Yeah.
Look, I did the core. I always do the core information.
Yeah. And then he brought up that it's 8.5 by 10, and whatever 0.8.
Look, I always do the core information because I'm the one actually writing the conversation. So I just assume if I zone you out that I still come back in and do that, and that's just always going to be the case. So
well, maybe you should be more responsible and pay attention when other people are talking.
How do I listen to you talk about Hellraiser or Hellblazer?
What are you saying, Connor?
Hellraiser, maybe, but yeah. Did someone speak, Matt? So someone said something. I heard like a faint whisper in the distance.
I'm not listening to either of you. What's going on?
That's a lie, you not. Let's talk about something really exciting here. Batman the Joker.
No, you're skipping over a book, and that is not fair.
But it's not like a proper DC book.
A book that nobody reads here.
I read it.
Okay, so I take it back.
All right, fine. There's another Black Label called The Last God, Songs of the Lost Children. I have no idea what this is. What is it?
It's a one-shot tying into the Last God book that's been going on. That's like 5 or 6 issues in, I think.
I don't believe you. This book does not exist. I don't believe Connor.
Do you want me to pull a copy out from behind me and show you? Because I will.
Just because you've made the fake prop in advance to win this argument does not mean anything, right?
Yeah, all right.
Doesn't exist.
Now you can talk about the one you're actually excited about.
Yes. So, Batman the Joker Warzone issue 1, obviously it's a one-shot tying into, the Joker War, right? What's notable here is the cover for this. We've got Stephanie Brown in her spoiler outfit, which looks, by the way, the art in this is fantastic, this cover. Ben Oliver.
This is the variant cover, I think it's worth noting.
This is the variant, okay.
Yeah.
So the art's actually by...
For some reason on this new Newsarama system, they put all the variants first. I don't know.
Anyway, the other character on this, though, is Cassandra Cain, but notably in her Batgirl outfit. So that gets some attention, I think. So this is written by James Tynion IV, John Ridley, and Joshua Williamson, which tells me, given that it's 48 pages, that it's going to have 3 stories, rather than they're sharing, duty on one story.
We know for a fact that Tynion is doing the story with Steph and Cass.
That's exciting.
He actively said it's Batgirls. He used that that word very specifically and shared an internal panel of the two of them together with with Cass in the Batgirl outfit in the story. It's not just the variant cover.
Lead to a book. Come on, Tynion. Lead this to a book. Do it for me.
And her costume doesn't look stitched together too, which is a nice touch. Like it's actually new. It doesn't look pieced together like her last one.
I was going to say, except the mouthpiece, which is very intentionally stitched together.
Right.
Yeah. No, I dig it. So, super exciting, and I'm pumped. This is a thing where it's a tie-in, oversized one-shot to Joker War. Maybe that's a skip, and then I'm like, no, it's not a skip. This is almost the must-read of the week.
It's really hit and miss on the art, where you've got Gil March on one, but then you got James Stokoe on one story, and oh boy.
The sad part is that because March has been doing art in Batman, he might be doing the Tynion story, which is the one that I'm most excited for. But
it probably is. But James Stokoe, his art's fantastic.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, honestly, the other writers aren't bad either, so it's not like I'm not looking forward to the other stories as well. But obviously, that's the main thing. You got Batman 98 and 99 coming out. 99 being the one that's got Dick in the Nightwing outfit on the cover, and it even says in the solicit text that Dick Grayson's returned to. Yeah, it says,
Gotham. Can Dick reclaim his lost memories in time to join the battle? I'm going to go out on a limb and say yes.
Yes.
Which actually weirdly makes our long time ago prediction of issue 100 being the triumphant return.
That's right. Yeah, probably, we said that.
Even though he's on the cover for 99, it's going to be about whether or not he will be back. For, 100 he'll be there.
There's a good chance that the ending page might be him in costume showing up. Yeah, I know it's on the cover, but the covers sometimes spoil the ending rather than anything else. So, I mean, there's a good chance that it technically will be issue 100 where it's really like him properly back.
And he's featured on the Jimenez 1 in 25. Too.
Yeah, that's the cover going about. It is
But they look like reference points because there's the Catwoman one in 98. That's the same. So yeah, and he'll probably be featured in this issue.
Yeah, the fact that two of these covers, sorry, are prominently featuring Nightwing, I have to imagine that it's kind of the main point of the issue is that he's there and trying to become who he was again, in some capacity. So,
time fixing things for us, left, right, and center.
Yeah, thanks, Tynan. Well, that's appreciated.
And you know why he was able to do that?
Why?
Because Didio's not there.
Hey, if having books on Tuesday and not through Diamond is the price of getting Real Dick Racing back, I pay it gladly.
Yeah. Oh, so a little bit of update on that. My shop, I talked to them, and they were, as I was there on Wednesday picking up my books, they were setting up their ordering system to start getting their DC books. So I can read a list, but they did stress that they're not ordering as much as they used to. Mm-hmm. So if I want something, I have to let them know in advance. So I'm gonna have to start writing stuff down. Yeah, which I didn't have to do before, but that's, when stuff's coming all in one shipment, it's easier to order more things. So, but yeah, I was told if you want something, because I still don't have Hell Arisen 3.
That's on you.
Well, not by now. Just it's I blame the pandemic because I should have had it by now. They ordered me one. Yeah. For Christ's sakes.
I'm fairly certain that our patron David actually just sold like an issue, like a copy of that issue for profit. So
yeah. I'm sure my shop only got 2 of the original first printings, and speculators came and snatched them up. So F you if that's you. You're all playing into the system like a bunch of idiots. So yeah.
All right. Next up, Batgirl. 49, so that's about hit 50, which is cool. Obviously, we did give up on this because it had a continuous streak of issues that we weren't into. We kind of just became clear that we didn't really like Cecil Castellucci's writing all that much. But
I'm assuming 50 is going to be a oversized, because we've got some 25s this month that are oversized.
Oh yeah, I expect it, and which is fair, and I'm happy that it's making 50 issues, given that it's kind of on that line where Supergirl couldn't make it. And a lot of these books, it's kind of sad how there's so many, unless you're one of the big characters or teams, the chances of you even getting close to 50 issues is...
Do you know what 50 should be? 50 should be the last issue. Should be a final issue tag, and it should be the final Barbara issue for a while. And then we relaunch with a new number 1.
I know where you're going with this.
It doesn't have to be Cass. It doesn't have to be Steph. Just a new Batgirl. I mean, I'll take either of those or someone new entirely.
I'll take both.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'll take all 3.
Yeah, all 3. Yeah.
Let Tynan do his Batgirls book.
It's not like she's ever been part of Birds of Prey, so let her have a Batgirls team.
Oh dear. Yeah, I'll take all 3. So
also, I just want to point out to the Solicits they're looking for a redheaded killer or a killer of redheads, and it's not me. I just want to put it out there. Bab traces the Batgirl obsessed redheaded murders or redhead murders back to their source. It's not me. Just want to put that.
Okay, good to know. Good to know. Next up, Catwoman issue 25. Ram V taking over the reins. And it is an oversized issue because it's the issue 25, which is fair play.
I feel bad for Ram V because I don't know if this is his first issue in the book or the second. We obviously talked about it in the last couple of weeks. I can't remember if that was in the last Solicits or not. But either way, this is his first or second issue, and it's immediately a tie-in to Joker War.
Yeah, that's a bit rough, especially if all the stories are, or it depends how it's split up. But I will note this though, Jean Faria's back doing a lot about DCR, and notably also Jean-Paul Leon, because I actually really like his art, and he's not been around in a while, so that's nice to see too.
Yeah, because this is I think it's just extra backup tales is what they're doing for this.
Yeah, probably.
Oversized.
Yeah, that's it. It's 48 pages though, so it's actually there's enough there to have a full size regular story plus,
and then like 2 slightly shorter stories.
Yeah, but not super short though. Not like so because sometimes you get these backups that are like 46 pages. They're still
these will be good like 10, 12 pages each, maybe.
Yeah. So that's cool. Nightwing 74. Notably, still Rick Grayson in the text for this one, so clearly it's getting fixed in Batman, and then Nightwing will reflect it after the fact.
Yep, which is exactly what happened in the first case.
Yep. So Superman 25, Bendis, and this is probably a good place to actually slot in some other news here, since we're talking about Bendis Superman. Now, it's not in the solicits, and DC actually took the interview down, or asked to take the interview down, where Bendis said that he's coming to a close on his Superman run. The fact that he said it, the way it was phrased in the quote, and the fact that DC don't want anyone to really know about it yet, although at this point, who cares, because everyone clearly knows already now.
Yeah.
I would assume...
I have the exact quote here with an update as well.
Well, I was going to say, I would assume that means that, okay, we're coming, he's working to a close, but it sounds like he's working to a close on his writing of it, so it's probably still, I don't know, a bit of time for us.
Yeah, but we know there's a finish line now. It's not just going to be,
Like, it wouldn't surprise me if there's another year of, like, the comics coming out for us.
Mm-hmm. Could be. Because, so his original quote was, he said, I'm heading towards the end of my run on Superman, so I've been more reflective on it. And this was in the off-panel podcast that he was doing this in.
Which to me, that doesn't sound like, it's going to be done in October. It doesn't sound that quick.
Because obviously people were asking him about it this week because obviously they put the podcast up, people heard it, it was there for however long, and then it got taken down, presumably at DC's request. But there's no point in hiding it. Bendis has kind of accepted he said those things, and he did actually say, someone asked him about it, and he said it's so far away, kind of a non-headline. Don't worry about it today.
Yeah.
Which supports, it's probably going to be at least another 6 months. Which, assuming that when he talks about his run on Superman, he means Superman and Action together.
Yeah,
that's another year's worth of issues probably.
It may even be longer than that because he says he's drawing to an end. Like, does he mean that he's now just planning what he's going to write in those final issues? Which could, again, that like. So, there's going to be a finish line, but like I say, this could literally be another year of his run before it's actually over.
It could be. I don't know how far in advance Bendis typically works. I don't know his work schedule.
And besides, like him saying he's drawn to a close, that could just mean that he's about to start writing, like, say, the final arc rather than the final issues themselves. Like, it could be, I'm just starting my end game. So
it could well be, yeah.
The phrase is open enough that it doesn't sound like, he's going to be done by the end of the year. It doesn't feel like that.
No, but on a personal note, it's nice to know that I have a chance at maybe reading Superman again at some point by the end of next year.
Well, and that doesn't mean he's going to be done with Action. He could just actually be meaning Superman, the
honestly,
title.
I'd be surprised.
I would be surprised as well, but I've said multiple times, I'd be more than okay with that. I'm very happy for him to have one book and someone else have another. So in the same way that we've got Batman and Detective on different teams, I like that because it gives variety and it gives me a chance to read one of them and not the other.
So that's Superman 25, which again is a oversized issue because it's issue 25, so that's cool. Then we have Wonder Woman 762 and 763, Mirko Tamaki's run, still going, of course, which we're not even started yet, but just looking forward to it. So that's cool. Then we got Strange Adventures issue 5. There is a slight mistake in the solicit here, which felt like a mistake, kind of, because it was like kind of just out of nowhere. It said bi-monthly, which it isn't. It was confirmed on Twitter later that it isn't.
The way it was confirmed is Mitch Gerrard saw this article, because there were specific articles pointing it out, and he was like, "Wait, is it? No one told me. I'm here working on like issue 7 or 8 or whatever it was." He said that he's in the middle of drawing at the minute, and so he's already ahead, like by a considerable margin, and ultimately him passing that along, DC went, that was kind of just a mistake. Yeah,
so that's cool. Cover is gorgeous, of course. I haven't seen what's the other one look like. Oh, the other one's pretty nice too, but the one with Alana is the one I was looking at, though, with the red and the yellow behind her.
That's the Garretts.
Yeah, really good stuff. A couple of those young adult trade paperbacks, or graphic novels, maybe more accurate.
This one I really like the idea of Victor and Nora, a Gotham love story. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, there was another one announced this week that I don't know if it's somewhere else in the solicits. It's weird that it's not here with this section, but they're doing a Black Canary one. That was like, it was like a younger Black Canary sort of thing, as these books typically are in Gotham versus Court of Owls.
The other one's Teen Titans Go, roll with it. And then we're on the regular issues here. We got Action Comics 1025, which they're not treating as a special. They're not treating 1025 as a special number.
No,
but, to be fair,
but you've still got Romita Jr.
Well, see, I'm worried now that because he's drawing to a close, quote unquote, that Romita's just going to be there until he's done, which would be very upsetting. We got Amethyst issue 6. Aquaman is 63. It's also a pretty nice cover, actually. Now, this is still the fill-in writer, but we knew this was a two-parter from the previous Solicit, so...
Yeah. Oh, it's a gorgeous variant, though, the Tyler Kirkham one.
Well, let me go over and see it. Oh, that is pretty nice, yeah. We got Batman The Adventures Continue, issue 4, which is cool. We got Batman The Outsiders 16. I honestly, because of how often art has changed these days, I'm just happy to still see Dexter Soy on the art and that. I was like, oh, that's shockingly consistent. I'm pleased. Batman Beyond 47, the book that just keeps on going.
Ain't gonna stop it.
Yeah, Jurgen has just got a payday with that. Batman's Grave issue 10. We got Batman Superman issue 12. Is that Brainiac things we're doing on that? But from that cover,
looks like it.
Yeah. So that's cool.
Yeah, it mentions Brainiac in the text.
And we got Batman Superman Annual issue 1, which is out because it's a 5th week, a 5-week month in September. Notably, they've actually spread out. The second issue of Wonder Woman, for example, I think is on the 5th week, so they have spread things out a little bit to make it even, which is nice. But there's a couple of annuals, Batman Superman being one of them, which is written by Williamson, so it hopefully means it's not going to be just completely irrelevant.
Yeah, and they've got some good artists on there. Daily Eaglesham, Gleb Melnikov. He had a great thing on Twitter this week about how to draw Superman, and just the thickness of his neck essentially makes Superman look significantly better just by giving him a really straight, thick neck. Ignore human anatomy, just give him a thick neck and it works.
Yeah, but he's a farm boy. He should have a big, thick neck.
Yeah. But you look at it and he basically did like do this, not this, and it's like, oh yeah, it's really simple and it just makes such a massive difference.
Right.
We got a Flash issue 761 and 762. 762 being the finale to the run, right? To Williamson's run.
Finish line.
It is, and not a final issue, so they're not renumbering it.
Which I think we expected just based because when they renumbered Flash and Wonder Woman, they did promise that there was no plans in the near future to renumber them. So that's would if they did it now, I would say they'd broken that promise. If they do it in a year, whatever.
I actually think that 762 cover is gorgeous.
It is quite a nice cover. It's all the blank space really makes it work, but just the blood because it's a top down shot of Flash dragging reverses Flash's like essentially dead body, presumably, or if not
seemingly dead.
Yeah.
I mean, he's missing at least a gallon of blood.
Yeah.
So,
so obviously we'll talk about Flash later on today. So me and Matt will have thoughts on that. Green Lantern season 2 issue 7 coming out, and then
it's very Spectre-esque on that cover, doesn't he?
It does. Yeah, it's got the cloak and all that. Now I will say I have not been tempted at any point to want to catch up in Hawkman.
Because you're a terrible person who clearly doesn't listen to me and Matt. I rave about it every month about how it's one of DC's best books.
However, I will admit the cover here on the Solicits for number 27 here does make it somewhat tempting because the cover is a photograph of the Justice Society, and I can't. And it's also really. I mean, it's a pretty cover as well. At that,
it's a Janin cover, which he's been doing a lot of the regular covers for Hawkman recently. Anyway, probably the last 4 or 5.
Yeah.
but yeah. And they all look pulpy, like properly pulpy. I mean, the big high collar on Green Lantern.
I love the Sandman suit. I'm so. I mean, I'm always excited for Hawkman. It's consistently one of the best books DC is putting out, but somehow it made me even more excited. So good.
Yep. So that's Hawkman 27. Joker Harley Criminal Sanity issue 5 is coming out. Not much to say there. Just keeps on trucking. Justice League 52, as we mentioned earlier, that's the one before the tie-in starts. There's a Justice League Annual issue 2, which interestingly is a one-off written by Venditti. So Venditti's actually back to Justice League for the Annual, with art by Aaron Lopresti and Matt Ryan. Yeah. So interesting.
This sounds a lot of fun.
I read the text.
Room murder mystery in the Hall of Justice. Yeah, I mean.
That does sound fun, actually.
Superman, an investigative journalist. Which, come on, Clark's good. That's more Lois, right? Like,
I get why they'll play it for this story, though.
Yeah, Batman, the world's greatest detective, the Flash, the CSI, Wonder Woman, a mystical detective for the Justice League Dark, and Green Lantern, an intergalactic police officer.
Matt, they may actually even have that in the narration. Superman might even talk about the fact that he's kind of trying to be Lois. He knows he's not as good at it, but he's doing his best.
But he's not bad at it either. Let's be fair.
Yeah.
Well, even though I wouldn't say that he's an investigative journalist like Lois. I feel like he's just a regular beat journalist, because he's Superman. He doesn't have time to dig in. Sure. He's got to save cats from trees and, put out fires with a super breath. So
Yep.
yeah.
So Justice League Dark 26 is next. What was I say? Just it's coming. Justice League Odyssey 24.
Variant on the on Justice League Dark, by the way.
Justice League Odyssey, 24.
Still not the final issue.
No, that's still going.
Nope.
Legion of Superheroes issue 9, which has a interesting cover with like all these different covers for each of the characters that are in the book, which is for a total of 16. Interesting idea.
Yeah.
This is the second part of the one last time, where it's each issue, each page is a story of one Legionnaire by a different team.
Well, the cover makes sense then, given that context. So no, pretty cool. And then, do you know, I actually thought one of them said Teen Wolf there before, but as I was scrolling down, it doesn't. But it's like, what is that?
It's Timberwolf.
Timberwolf. There you go. You say that
He's
as
cool. He's like, oh yeah, he's like Wolverine of the Legion of Superheroes.
He's one of the handful of Legionnaires that when you say that name, I go, oh yeah, I know that one.
As you said that as if I should know who Timberwolf is.
I mean, have you not been reading the book?
Sure.
I haven't read the book, but first of all, it's been like 4 months since the last issue, so it was a bit of a struggle getting back in the swing of it this time.
Timberwolf's up there with Wildfire and Dawnstar, just instant Legion members. Like those ones all stick out because they don't have a boy or lad or girl or lass after their name.
Metal Men 10 coming in September, so Didio's still technically got some DC input. I mean, I was enjoying that book. We fell behind on it, and then, you know, the apocalypse happened, so things got left behind. But Red Hood Outlaw 49, I can't believe Supergirl didn't make it to 50 issues, but Red Hood Outlaw is going to do it.
Well, from what we heard from Lobdell during the time off, it's ending, I presume, with 50 will be the final issue, by the way he was talking about it. I can't remember if he dated it specifically as that, but
by the time that's done, he'll have had, what, like 100 issues on that book?
Easily.
Yeah. That's, you know, because he was writing it all the way through New 52, more or less, right?
Not all the way through, but a lot of it.
Okay. Speaking of final issues, though, Shazam issue 15. So, Johns is doing, like, what, that special, like, double-sized finale in 14, right? Meaning that 15, we have Jeff Loveness coming back for one just issue to wrap everything up. It sounds like a one-er story, though. Cover's quite pretty. I will say, like, this will probably be a fine, fun, you know, one shot story, and that's cool. But I will say, I'm a little disappointed because when Johns took Shazam, it kind of felt like I was hoping what happened to Aquaman in New 52 would happen to Shazam here, just in the sense that Aquaman, since that Johns run, has consistently been popular enough to have a book at all times. You know, because before that, it was missing for a while.
I mean, yeah, but he's always had a lot more issues and books than Shazam ever has.
I mean, he has, but
well, I say ever. I mean, you know, since DC had Shazam.
Yeah. I was hoping that this would propel Shazam enough to be like a consistent staple in the you know, the ongoings. Like, oh, there's always a Shazam book now, and it's a shame that it's just kind of fading out. And it's so weird because the movie did, you know, fairly well, and they're making a sequel.
There's a sequel. We'll probably get a new book launching around the time of the sequel.
Probably.
I think you needed a more consistent team to make this a consistent, ongoing, long-term. Like, and that's not a knock on the quality of the writing, or the story, or the art, or anything. Just this needs to be out monthly to get it into people's heads that this is just going to be an ongoing book for years. The way it was so sporadic. It just, and people didn't get into a routine of thinking, oh, Shazam's going to be in it this month.
Sadly, that is the case. So it's a shame. It's a shame that it's having to go out like this, but hey ho. Suicide Squad issue 9, obviously we were excited for that. Taylor did kind of tease a big thing on Twitter.
It's in the solicit text.
Is it in the solicit text? Okay,
it's
well, in case you want to avoid this, though, I just want to make this clear. If you do want to avoid spoilers, because this feels especially spoilery for solicit text, but so yeah, Deadshot is going to die. He's going to kill Deadshot, the madman.
Allegedly.
Well, allegedly, yes. But you know, we joked back when this started. Oh well, Deadshot and Harley are the safe ones. The rest of them are fair game.
Taylor,
I want to retract that statement.
You all made this statement saying, "Well, Deadshot's safe because they're not going to let him kill Deadshot," and he's like, "You shouldn't have said that. You made me do it."
Yeah, well, he did say that on Twitter, right? Yeah. He goes, "This is on you guys,"
and I was like,
"Well, you know, he ain't."
We said exactly that.
Yeah, but because we know he's not going to kill Harley. Like, that's,
That's tempted fate.
with her being the fourth pillar and Jim Lee being the only.
I feel like
even if DC let him, I would feel afraid for his safety. Like, genuinely.
Yeah.
No, I think what's happening right now is Matt actually wants Harley dead. Matt is essentially putting a hit out on Harley Quinn right now by pushing his luck here.
I said when I covered the Birds of Prey, I do not have that distaste of Harley like I've had in the past, because she can be properly used. So that's not true. However, Tom Taylor, do it, or you're a coward.
All right, Teen Titans issue 45. That's still going along.
That's a book.
Young Justice 18 coming out. Noticeably also Stephanie Brown on this cover. I'm all for more Stephanie Brown in my life. So
and a very ugly Tim costume that I'd forgotten about because I'm not reading the book. I'd forgotten about it, and then I see this. Ugh.
Yeah. So yes.
And everyone do for you absolutely nothing when you're Tim Drake.
Yeah, and then the Sandman stuff. We got Books of Magic 23. We got the Dreaming Waking Hours issue 2. John Constantine Hellblazer issue 10. And then we're at the hardcovers and trades and whatnot. The only thing I'll put out there is that I'm happy to see the next JSA by John's book and the next Peter David Young Justice books coming out. So that's nice.
Yeah, I'm happy to see Mr. Miracle getting a deluxe hardcover.
Yeah. No, that's good. All good things. So there you go. That is the September Solicits.